Hey there, YouTube. I am bringing you just some videos I know because we all play Yu-Gi-Oh! If you watch this, you probably play Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon of some kind. So I wanted to just go ahead and walk you around what it's like inside of a Japanese house. I do live in Japan, if you guys haven't figured it out yet. Whoops, no pictures allowed, no face reveals due to the nature of my job. But anyway, so here's our house. It's a pretty tiny house, and there's my Feraligatr, Totodile, and a Cyndaquil. With my Pokemon games I post on Instagram, some of my game stuff here, and our little dining room table. I have all my Yu-Gi-Oh stuff back there in the corner, but I just wanted to go ahead and post a little bit of maybe what it's like to live inside of a neighborhood over in Japan, what it actually is. I know a lot of people like to fantasize what Japan's like. And here's our stove. Very different from the American ones. Ooh, that is loud. And our washing machine, also very tiny. In our fridge, which is pretty big, but I'll have you know that a lot of the amenities, what do you say, how do you say amenities, I think, that we have in America, they aren't super popular over here in Japan. At least in the area that I live is not very big on it. But here's our shell collection that we have, because we live on an island, and some of our book collection as well. And you see, I really like Game of Thrones. Like I said, here's my little Yu-Gi-Oh spot for all my cards, some of my sealed collection I have, this cool little dragon poster that I have here. Now if we move over here, so I think our house is pretty decent size. Compared to my house in America, it's pretty darn tiny, but it's a decent size. We have Settlers Catan here, and basically just a little computer room, storage space. We have 2 bedrooms in our house and 1 bathroom. We're gonna take a quick walk outside. But yeah, I just thought it'd be cool to show everyone what it is. People like to think that Japan is entirely anime and all high-tech, super dressed up people. And they really like to talk up what it is, but it's not entirely the case. But anyways, here's my neighborhood. Just gonna take a few minutes to walk through. Over here's a shrine. So religion in Japan is a little strange, as it's been explained to me, that I think Shinto, which is a sect of Buddhism, is the most popular type. But typically, they kind of go with whatever is convenient for them. So if they get married, and here's my neighbor's house there, which is very similar in style to my house, to include inside, with the tatami mats and everything, and some other houses. But I live in a very tiny neighborhood. Anyways, but I digress. I have a farming neighborhood. But anyways, what am I saying? So, like when they get married, they follow Catholicism. And they go to like churches and they'll get married there, or they'll follow like Judaism and they'll go to temples or shrines or whatever it is. But then when they die later on, and they won't really practice anything in between except for like Christmas, for example, which Christmas also is a little different here in Japan, as it became very popular because of KFC, believe it or not. You can look in the history of that. But then once they die or something, they'll just do whatever they enjoy otherwise. But it's a beautiful day in my neighborhood here. Here we have a neighbor. Like I said, I live in a farming neighborhood. So here they have a lot of, I guess they grow some vegetables and stuff like that they also sell. Sometimes I'll buy sweet potatoes from them. Just the streets. So these roads here are very, very, very tiny. All the cars and vehicles are typically very old. Things of that nature. Yeah, really not a lot of new stuff over here, but again, I live in a very, very old neighborhood in Japan where not a whole lot of technology. My internet is probably some of the worst internet. It's available, but some of the worst internet. To express how not great, but there are some nice houses. That's a monstrosity of a house compared to mine. To explain how old some of the like internet is, or how not great it is, I pay less than $20 a month for my internet service. It's not the best. It works, but it's not the best. Anyways, here we're walking back into the farmlands. What's today? Today's Sunday morning. So it's actually the morning of Halloween over here in Japan. And Halloween is also something I guess they kind of celebrate. Maybe not the same way we do in America, but I don't think America even celebrates it for what it was originally meant for. But let's go ahead. We walk back here. And there's my house in my neighborhood is actually entirely surrounded by mountains. So a beautiful, beautiful place. I think I live on probably one of the nicest areas in the world. I absolutely love it. So like I said, they farm a lot of rice back here. I think some sweet potatoes here and there. And then on these little paths along here and all the way around, someone planted, what do they call them? Cherry blossom trees. So Japan, obviously famous for its cherry blossoms. Ooh, we got a dog. That you typically have to go to some of those very big cities like Kyoto, Osaka, Tokyo, whatever it might be, or one of those regions rather, Kanto region, something like that, Saitama, to be able to see some of the best cherry blossoms. I live on an outskirt island, and there's a few places that obviously have better cherry blossoms, but any given morning come January or February, if I just walk through here, oh, what is that? If I just walk through here, there's cherry blossoms everywhere. So we'll keep walking here. I don't plan on making this video too long, maybe 10 minutes, and we're about the 5-6 minute mark. I just thought it'd be cool. If you guys do like this, I am planning on going into a card and toy shop later on today to also just record what some of the stuff is like in Japan, just so people kind of have an idea. I said I'm in a lot of like Japanese groups, and people really like to talk about the great things about Japan. Don't get me wrong, it's beautiful, I love it. I'm very blessed to be here for the reason that I am here. But if you're like, oh, I don't know, the work life here, how do I put this? If you're a tourist in Japan, it probably seems like it's the coolest thing in the world. If you work and live in Japan, that's no different than working and living in one of the really big cities in America, things of that nature, where everyone on the outside probably talks about how much there is to do and see, and there's always job opportunities in America, things of that nature, or England, Britain, whatever country you might be from, Canada. But then when you come to Japan, they do have the beautifulness. I think they really took a hold of their historic aspects, and it's a very, very old country. One of the oldest countries in the world, actually. With like written history, and it's known what happened at what times and regions. And here's another pretty new house. Just a little tiny box. But in America, Ohio gozaimasu. In Japan, they have all that. But when it comes to the work life, especially if you're a foreigner who moves to Japan to try to get a job, it can be tough. The expectations of working here can be tough. So don't be wrong, I love the idea of what people think about Japan is, but they really romanticize it. But definitely it's a very, very cool place. So we're about 8 minutes. I think I just want to get up to, so this is my neighborhood. It pretty much, you know what it is. Everything here is farmland. I just want to film this little building up here really quick. So what it is it's a community center. So I guess in America, they're kind of like neighborhoods, but you know, maybe 4 blocks away, there are kids that you didn't play with, but you knew were there because you all went to school together. From what I've noticed in Japan, at least in my neighborhoods, my areas that I've been to, is that those neighborhoods are legitimately split up. Like I said, I am completely surrounded by mountains on all sides with a tiny little farming neighborhood that all the water from the mountains, the rain, and the ocean. So the Sea of Japan is about 2 minutes that way. And all that water just floods in here. It's perfect for farming. Here's like a community center where they go in, play basketball, and do all kinds of stuff, and public bathroom right here. But beautiful, beautiful city. Anyways, I keep saying things. I kind of lose my track of thought, my train of thought, as they call it, train. I'm just kind of saying stuff, but what a great day it is. What an absolutely great day it is. We're at 9 minutes, so I'll probably cut the video off here shortly. We'll go ahead and get a little bit more. It's weird. So some of the houses, like someone lives here. So, oh, there's another shrine. Someone lives in this house. That's like a whole house, right? But then right next to it, you'll have these absolutely just behemoth houses that are basically mansions over here. And I don't really understand how they do it in America, and I assume I can only speak for America, but I assume Canada, England, all those other places, they split neighborhoods they split them by like wealth income, it would seem, you know. All the big houses, mansions are together, and all the little houses are together in their own distinct neighborhoods, and that's kind of what splits them up. From what I've seen, neighborhoods are just hard split around here, as in there's just a section of housing, regardless of, look at this thing's huge, regardless of section housing, regardless of like income or maybe wealth status, whatever. Here's another really big one. And also being on the roof is very popular, that all the houses are together. So you can have, like I said, we had that really tiny house way back there, and then 10 feet from it was that absolute monstrosity two-story like house that was basically 4 of the other houses put together. So that happens a lot around here. The average income from where I'm at per month for a local is about $2,000 a month. So when you have income like that, the housing, and I'm landlocked, I said I'm on an island, so they can't build a whole lot of new houses. So you get a lot of these very older styled houses. And they have to be built very specifically, obviously, to save from typhoons and things of that nature. And America, when you're on the coastline, we have a lot of hurricanes. In Japan, they have basically a hurricane, but they call them typhoons in these southeastern Asian islands. And we got some cool little bug there, and I don't know what that is. Looks dangerous though, because it's yellow and black. Anyways, here's the irrigation water. This comes in from the ocean, which is flowing backwards. Typically it flows that way. I don't know the direction, what's flowing that way right now. But this circles all the way around, all the way over there, and right beyond all those houses. And actually, some good friends of ours live in those houses. You see how big some of these houses are compared to what we just saw, and my house. But literally right beyond those houses is the ocean. And here's the farmland. Here is the front, and here's another incredible house. Here they're building some, I guess it's a house. It could be a business, I'm not sure. But we'll walk up here a little bit more. Over to the left-hand side, there's something called Lawson's. So in Japan, they have little convenience stores. They call them, I think, what are they called? Kobe's. Kobe's. It's just basically Japanese for a convenience store. Lawson's and Family Mart. They do everything there. They buy plane tickets from there. They get their birth certificates from there. So imagine if you had like a Speedway or just like a gas station, and you could go in there and get your birth certificate or plane tickets or government documents, whatever it might be. They pay their taxes there. They pay bills there. It's a strange system, but it works for them, I guess. Seems pretty fast. Anyways, here's a pretty cool place. We'll go up and we'll end the video here because this basically encapsulates the entirety of my neighborhood. But we go up here, and this is called Yakiniku. So yaki means grill, niku means meat. So literally just means grilled meat. We call it yaks for short, so Yakiniku. I have a bunch of Japanese writing because obviously Japanese store. But it's literally, they set tables up outside here and they bring you raw meat and you just cook that meat. I think they do have some seating inside, a little bit of parking space, but they just bring the meat to you and you just cook it on spot. So very cool, very expensive place, I will say that, but very, very nice, very, very nice. Anyways, that is the entirety of my neighborhood. If you guys want to see some more videos like this, let me know, and I will continue to post this type of stuff. Just kind of what's like in Japan. Anyways, have a great day. Bye.